1994, Mr. Olympia. It was quite an event, I'm here to tell you, and this was a star-studded event as far as the 90s superstars are concerned. And as we look upon this rear-relaxed position, we can speculate on who these gentlemen are. We can see if we begin from your right, we have Sean Ray, Dorian Yates, that's obvious, Kevin Levrone. Now, to a novice to the sport, to a new person, a new fan, they might not know who the next gentleman is. That's Chris Cormier, probably not as famous as the first three. And I'm not sure who that guy is. And then we go, and we have Paul Dillette at the end. Now, I wonder who that guy is. Now, let's turn them around and find out who it is. And, to even a non-novice, a seasoned fan, they might not know who this guy is. This is Porter Cottrell, and aside from him, this is quite a star-studded lineup. But the funny thing is, this guy here, he placed 5th in this event, and he defeated Chris Cormier. Very interesting, considering, with all due respect to Porter, Chris Cormier became a much better bodybuilder than Porter Cottrell ever thought of being. It is very difficult to say from the picture quality that I do have, the very blurry pictures, and I was actually going to do this one for quite a while, but it held me back, picture quality. Judging by this one, Chris Cormier, of course, he has the better structure. He's quite a bit taller than Porter Cottrell. I believe he's 5'10", Porter at 5'6". Turn them around and, well, I can see Porter having a better back development. Of course, you can't see the thin skin conditioning, but you can make hypotheses, baby please, on these. And I would say Porter Cottrell has a Momo Benaziza type back. And to be honest, Chris Cormier still in the oven here, still baking, still cooking, building muscle, putting on muscle. But I just think as is, he probably was the better man this night. Maybe it was because it was his first Olympia. A little bit of politics were involved there. Porter Cottrell, not the best structure, like I said, and Chris Cormier, on the contrary, one of the best bone structures of bodybuilding history, I would say. The ab and thigh shot, and even worse clarity of the picture. But like I said, guys, hypothesis. Look at this ab and thigh shot from Chris Cormier. Clearly he was the better man in some of these shots at least. And fortunately, we do have a couple of decent shots, good clarity in the lat spreads, and if you really take a close look, Porter may have had some thinner skin, a little more vascular, but that structure, like I said, and the muscle separation, Chris Cormier, he's just genetically clearly better than Porter Cottrell, but I can understand the judges taking a close look and thinking of the conditioning for sure. The rear double bicep, and once again, so tall is Chris Cormier versus Porter Cottrell at 5'6", but the lower lat insertions of Porter and the glutes, hamstrings seem to be right on par with Cormier. Cormier, good condition, don't get me wrong. It's just I can understand some of the poses, but I wish we had all of them, and when you cannot have all of the shots, really, you can't make a proper decision based on them. The most muscular shot, and again, the big muscle, round muscle, full chest and arms of Chris Cormier, I could see somebody giving him the edge for sure. And he's 5'10", guys. Think about it. Size does matter. But I guess the thin skin, the vascularity is the only thing that Porter Cottrell has on Chris Cormier, judging by those shots. But at this time, we will have a little video comparison. And unfortunately, these guys, this is pretty much the only good, decent front-on comparison we have. And Porter, he is winning on a lot of the aspects. The size of his muscles, the good lats there, for sure. Chris Cormier, muscle bellies, and you got to think he would be a lot bigger in a side-by-side comparison. And the rest of the routines, for some reason, they just didn't match up. You can see in the side chest. We can't really even chop that up and get a side-by-side comparison. You just missed Chris Cormier's side chest there. You can definitely see Porter Cottrell, judging by the video, when they do zoom in, he might have had better conditioning, or he did, rather. I can't be biased, because I I like Chris Cormier, one of my favorite bodybuilders. And Porter Cottrell, I respect the guy. But there's so many colorful characters in bodybuilding that it's hard to even scrape the surface. Cormier, I believe he became a much better poser. Well, there's nothing wrong with how he is posing here. Porter's style, you notice I thought he was winking at first. When they pose, they do the odd wink. But if that's a wink, he has to be winking to all members of the audience because he keeps doing it. It's probably because of his diet. He's twitching. With all due respect to you, Mr. Cottrell, you are a great bodybuilder. Chris Cormier, massive. But you can understand little thinner skin for Porter in those most muscular shots. I hear people saying Chris Cormier has no standout body parts. Some of the best pecs of the 90s, for sure. There were some good pecs in the 90s, but Chris Cormier, one of the great ones. But it is plain to see he is still in the drawing board at this point, this stage of the game. Compare this with a 99 Chris Cormier. Porter Cottrell would not stand a chance. But I have to be honest, guys. Here he does stand a chance. Look at the thin skin when they zoom in there. As big as Chris Cormier is, this is a bodybuilding competition. A little bit of a thick stomach, I must say, for Porter Cottrell. You see that? Chris Cormier, small, little, skimpy waistline. May have been winning in the back shots as well. So it is a debate. I wish I had all good, clear shots of all the 8 mandatory shots. Fortunately, I don't. But anyway, I'll let you guys make the decision on this one. I think it was a sort of a just decision. More so than when I began this video. I thought for sure this was a rip-off of Chris Cormier. But Porter Cottrell, he had good conditioning. Not too bad, I guess, in the mandatory shots. So I guess you could say he did deserve his 5th place finish at the 1994 Mr. Olympia event. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Hit thumbs up, subscribe. Have a good day.